Who's like the funniest or maybe even your favorite athlete coach that you've gotten to interview?
Ooh.
LEX 18 presents a podcast with hot takes, hot topics, with your hosts, Megan Mannering and Evelyn Schultz. This is Hot Mic.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hot Mic. Whether you are listening to us or watching on YouTube, we appreciate you being with us. I'm Evelyn Schultz.
And I'm Megan Mannering. And, you know, we thought to ourselves, who's a person that has nothing going on right now, who's just slacking off, that needs something to do?
Twiddling his thumbs.
You know, Keith Farmer, what does he do in March? Keith, welcome to the pod.
That, and I didn't know you did this in New York. We had to fly all the way up here for the podcast.
Your lunch is comped. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah,
At least
we'll cover that.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much. Keith,
Yeah.
you are like actually super busy right now. So we appreciate you making the time. And we've been so eager to talk to you and get the whole scoop.
I don't know why, but yeah, it is busy with high school basketball and college basketball and Lexington Sporting Club getting ready to play Lou City on Friday. So it's like there's everything going on right now.
I know, like a sports department in March. Is
Yeah.
this the busiest time of year for you guys?
Ooh, it's either this time or it's like what we call the crossover season, like in October, November, when you start getting basketball and football together.
okay.
And then you're getting a couple of games on a Tuesday and a Friday, and then you got a Saturday football game. So that's probably really the busy. And volleyball's going on. Like, there's a lot happening at that point, you know.
Well,
in the
and
fall.
right now, not only is it March, and you know, whatever happens this month, you all will be there. Then we have April, and then Derby is first weekend in May. So
Yeah.
and you
Gonna
all
be
do a
here
lot for
before we
that
know
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of downtime there before you have to really start getting into heavy coverage. Like, I'm already recording all the prep races and saving those, so when we do our stories, we're ready to have the video at hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's already begun. They're getting into the bigger races that did last week.
Do you get to take a vacation in April or like in June or something?
I'm going to take a little time off in April.
Okay.
Yeah, to kind of recharge from March into getting ready for Derby.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll take one off right after Derby.
I gotcha.
As well.
On top of all of this, a member of the sports team is away.
Yeah.
Nick, tell us about that.
Nick Lazaroff, his wife Bree, they had their first baby, Rory.
Congratulations.
And so, yeah, he took the first of his paternity days off, I guess maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
I think he's coming back next week. Thank goodness. And then, because we're at the end of the year we've got SEC specials, we've got an NCAA special, and all of that going on. We're not going to allow him to travel as much as he wants to because
Okay, that's
he's
good.
got things to focus on
Totally,
right now. And
yeah.
Bree would totally be mad at us if we, had him out on the
Definitely.
road. So yeah, but he is going to help out around here for a little bit and then take the rest of his time after.
Well, and he works so hard. You all work so hard, right?
Yeah.
It's a compared to a lot of sports departments, it's not small, but for the
Right.
amount of work that you all do, you have a pretty small department.
What's really crazy is when I worked in Louisville, there were like almost every station had two people. And you're
Two
talking
people?
two people to cover Louisville, Kentucky, Indiana,
Whoa.
Bellarmine, Spalding,
Yeah.
high school sports in Kentucky and Southern Indiana, and you had two people. And yeah, we're lucky we have seven. But
And
it
you're
takes
still
all
running
of us.
around like crazy.
Yes, it still takes all of us because of all the work we do, being the official station with UK and then trying to make sure that we're keeping up with high schools and Lexington sporting clubs and Eastern, Moorhead,
Yeah.
all,
Can you walk us through your career journey? You mentioned Moorhead. Talk about college, where you started, what markets you were at before you ended up here in Lexington.
You're a Kentucky boy, right?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I'm from Richmond. And
Your mom is such a loyal LEX 18 fan, actually.
Wait,
I want to
she
give her a
is?
plug.
Yeah. She loves to keep up with everyone and runs into people occasionally when they're down in Richmond.
She's on
and
Twitter, right?
She is.
Who's your mom?
Dawn Farmer. She was a teacher in Madison County.
Oh,
Did
I
you
didn't
run
know
into
that's
her?
your mom. No, I see her on social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Dawn.
so sweet.
Oh, shout out to Dawn. I love that.
She's gonna love that.
Yeah. Hopefully she's listening.
Yeah. So I grew up in Richmond and just went to high school at Madison Central, graduated, and I really didn't. It was the first time I had a choice at a school. Because you just kind of went from this school to this school and so forth in public school. And so I just felt like I wanted to get out of town a little bit. So I looked around, and Moorhead had a great program at the time. I think it's still a pretty decent program. And so I went up there. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I grew up with MTV. I grew up with ESPN both starting. Think about that. That's how old I am. So both of those channels started. And in our church, they started recording our services. So I started doing camera work, and I thought, can I put this together and do what I love, which is sports, and, do something. I didn't know what. So I went to Moorhead and kind of got a taste of it by interning at a radio station, went through all those kind of things. And then I found out that we had a TV station, didn't know, and thought, well, I can do that. It's kind of like radio, just kind of look up occasionally at a camera. And so, fun fact, the sports guys that year were me and Kevin McGuffey.
Wait.
Wow.
LEX 18's own, Kevin McGuffey.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, the crime dog, as we like to refer to him.
Crime dog.
Yeah.
What is that nickname?
McGruff. You remember McGruff, the commercials?
Gotcha.
Yeah, he quickly. McGuff,
sounded worse.
McGuffey, McGruff. Yeah, the
Crime dog. Whoa. There are some other LEX 18 people who went to Moorhead, right?
Yeah, there's our GM, Sean Franklin.
Yeah.
We got Tim Young, who went there. Who am I going to leave out? Wayne Manning went there. Let me think. Who else? We've had more. Obviously, the late Billy Williamson went to Moorhead with us. And the funny thing is that we all, for the most part, most of us graduated together.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
What a
you
crew.
guys
Somebody
have
else. I
to
hope I'm
have,
not leaving somebody out.
I bet you have some crazy stories and memories. You're just saying that because
No.
you don't want to spill the tea.
No, I really don't. Other than me and McGuffey doing that, and I remember Sean in class. We weren't.
You guys were
super. The only one I was,
partying on the
Yeah.
weekends.
No.
Who was the most studious?
Probably me.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have
probably
guessed
me.
Tim. Tim has that studious
Yeah.
energy.
Well, he was the kind of graduate student, or grad assistant or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Okay.
he was the one that was I was looking up to, and he was taking us out to do sporting events on the weekends and things like that, and getting everything set up. Kind of like he does around here. He set everything up.
He's
always
got
takes
us.
care of
He
us,
does.
right?
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, but no, I don't know.
I feel like Moorhead was the place to be
Not
at that
a
time.
nerd, but I was I was
Nerd
trust
adjacent.
Me, I was horrible when I started there. I was lucky I got to stay after the first year or two. But then once I got into all the radio television classes, that's when I was like, oh. And then I got a letter in the mail one day, and I was like, I'm probably getting kicked out. And I looked, and it said I was on the dean's list.
Let's go.
And I didn't know what that meant. I thought, yeah, they're kicking me out.
You're in big trouble.
But it's not that I did anything different. It's just that I loved the work, and I started.
Yeah.
Doing more of it.
You found the thing you were good at, yeah.
Did you ever play sports growing up?
Yeah.
What'd you
of
play?
course. Baseball when I started, when I was really little, baseball, and then basketball, of course, obviously was big into that. And then played tennis in high school as well. So
Do you still play tennis?
It's been a long time, yeah. And that's one of those sports you can definitely play as you get older, or even transition to pickleball or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just never have. It's also a little harder because you got to find that other tennis person that wants to play.
Yeah.
And meet you somewhere on the weekend or night or whatever.
And kind of match your skills up. And
You should hook him up with Charlie.
Yeah, my husband is a tennis player.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes to play.
I actually tried to walk on at Moorhead and went through
Really?
the whole process, and
Yeah.
I didn't make it. But looking back on it, I'm glad I didn't, because it's not like UK basketball where you get to practice every day with them,
yeah.
and then occasionally if there's a blowout game, you get in,
Yeah.
and get to hear the crowd. Tennis, you're never gonna. You're just gonna be a backboard, just hitting balls back and forth to the people that do play.
You would
every
have gotten
day.
really good at that, though, probably.
Maybe would have gotten better. Yeah.
You run, right? Or are you
I
kind of
did-
taking a break?
I did run. Yeah, I was a runner, and
Keith,
for
what
a
are
long
you
time.
running from?
I turned 40, and I was like, I got to be here for my boys. Because there were people that were like my age that I grew up with. They were having health issues already, and one that was younger that had a heart attack or had a heart, surgery, and I'm like, I gotta be here for them. So I just one day put on my tennis shoes, which were not running shoes, and I took off down the street, and I went like a mile and a half down the street, came back, and I was like, wow, okay, I can do this,
Nice.
And then it became an obsession, like a lot of people probably talk about.
The endorphins that get you.
Yeah. And you get out in your first race, and you hear all the people cheering for you, and you see the 70-year-olds running past you and the 6-year-olds running past you, and it's like, okay, I got to get better at this, So, but I ran for probably, I don't know, it was till the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a good 10, 12-year run or something like that.
Wow.
That I had, and I ran probably 13 half marathons.
Wow.
And then I ran one full marathon, which I picked the wrong one, but it's okay, and I finished it.
Which one was that?
It was the one in Nashville. It was Music City, and it's a little more hilly in Nashville than you think it is.
Lord.
And it was not a go. I should have picked a flat one to go, like Indianapolis or something, but...
Definitely.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know that. And you said this was for your boys. Tell us about your family.
Yeah, so I got 3 boys that are 30, 27, and 21. The youngest is about to graduate from UK.
Exciting.
I had 2 graduates from UK. The middle one, got to remember, we moved here from Louisville in 2013.
Okay.
He was going to be a sophomore in high school, and it was a hard
That's
transition
tough.
for him.
That's a tough
he had
age.
Preschool till freshman year, he was in Louisville.
Yeah.
So he went back and went to U of L, and then ended up finishing at JCTC. So, the 3 boys, coached them all sorts of sports growing up and things like that. And for the most part, they all grew up in Louisville. The youngest has grown up here for the most part. And then we got 2 granddaughters, and so that's the one that moved back towards Louisville. The oldest is Christian, middle one's Cameron, youngest is Colin, and then we got the 2 granddaughters, and they're in Oldham County, and so it's so cool that they're close.
How often do you see them, the grandkids?
FaceTime almost weekly, which is like there are so many things that are better on this generation of parents,
Yeah.
like click lists and like FaceTime, which are awesome. And so, yeah, probably weekly with FaceTime, and then we try and get up there, or they come down here, once a month, maybe a little bit more often. It just depends on what's going on. Like right now, I'm definitely not going to make it up there. But come April, May, we're going to maybe make a few more trips.
Your face just lights up when you talk about your grandkids.
Yeah.
And I love it when you come in for the 6 and you're like, you got to look at this photo. How have you and Christy transitioned into being grandparents? What's that been like for you guys?
So we weren't ready for it. We had just become empty nesters, but they didn't ask us.
What?
I know, I don't know why, but they did. No, but it was a shock at first. It was like, oh my goodness.
Well,
we're
you
gonna
all
be
don't look old
grandparents.
enough really to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank
not
you.
that
Like,
anyone looks
seriously.
like a grandparent, but
I know.
if you ask me, oh, is Keith a grandparent? I would say,
No, I would not.
What? Yeah.
And you're a beautiful wife. Yeah, I wouldn't guess it.
Yeah.
Christy's a redhead. My boys are redheads, and one of the 2 so far of the granddaughters, a little tinge of red. So yeah, it's been kind of cool. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's just like one of those things you don't. It's kind of like being a parent. You don't think you can do it, and then it happens, and it's like, okay, like just instincts kick in, right? And it's kind of a little bit the same with grandparenting, and it's just cool to see your kids have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hear it from everybody, but it's the same. You get to go spend all the time with them, and then you go, see you later. And then, you get them all hyped up and get them the chocolate and all that, and you take them back, and we'll see you next week or 2 weeks from now.
Send them home.
Have you relaxed your, I know they're little, but I'm sure you were, parenting your boys. You probably had rules for them, with grandkids. Is it going to be like, you can get whatever you want?
A little bit, yeah. There's a longer leash.
Okay.
Yeah, more leeway.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, I hear this too, like I'm sure my kids, even not the one that has the daughters, the other 2 boys are probably like, this is not the guy that
Right.
I grew up with.
He's
And
changed.
Yeah, he's so different.
It's gone soft.
And so, yeah.
What's
It's
their grandparent name for you? Is it just grandpa, granddad, Pap?
Granddaddy.
Granddaddy?
Yeah.
Cute.
And they all said, she's not going to be able to say that when the first one was born. She's not going to
Yeah.
be able to say that. No problem.
Granddaddy?
Granddaddy.
He's
And
the
when I
granddaddy of
hear
LEX
that-
18.
When I hear her say that too, it's,
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so
what do they
sweet.
call Christy?
Grammy.
Grammy.
Oh, Grammy's
Grammy.
cute too.
Cute.
So Grammy
Yeah.
and Granddaddy. Yeah.
I like those.
I had a Paul and I had a Granddaddy, and
Okay.
and I don't know. I thought that name sounded a little more like ritzy. I don't know, or something. I don't know what you're looking for.
Fancy.
Granddaddy.
Yeah. That's so
it
fun.
It kind of suits you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
we
I,
love
I didn't need those like some other, a lot of people nowadays don't want to be Pauls and grannies and things like that. But
Kind of the older.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Paul. You really say that like a Southerner.
I also
Oh,
called
yeah.
my grandpa Paul.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
Well,
cute.
Papa, but
My
Paul
parents
for
are
short.
my nieces and nephews, granddad and Grammy as
Yeah.
well.
Cute.
It's a good combo.
Yeah.
Let's stay on your family for a second before we go back to sports. Who's the most competitive person in your family?
Probably Christy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
About what?
Name it. Jigsaw puzzle games, sports. She yells at the TV
Okay.
at Kentucky and wants to fix it. And so I keep her away from Mark Pope and
Yeah.
Kenny Brooks because, I don't need that. She's probably, really, honestly, she probably is. And after that, probably my oldest, Christian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really competitive. Played baseball all the way through high school. Not in high school, but just all the way through high school
Yeah.
in leagues. And Cameron was competitive, but he was one of those that you never knew what he was thinking on the basketball court, which I loved. I love that. You never knew if he's mad. You never knew if he's happy. And I think that's how people should be out on the court, because then it leaves the defender thinking I can't get in this guy's head.
Yeah.
That's a good skill to have.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who's the most competitive in the LEX 18 sports office?
That's a good question.
Let me think here. Boy, that's a Noah / Maggie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those
One
two.
of them.
Yeah.
We did ask him who his favorite in the sports office was, and he said, me. That's how it should be.
Bet on
You
yourself.
have to
Yeah.
advocate for
You
yourself.
do.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah.
I have to gush. I feel like we have the best sports department in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like the stories
awesome.
that you do, the features, the coverage of tournaments. I mean,
BBN
everything.
Tonight.
BBN Tonight. I
Yeah.
mean, every show is excellent. Really, really good.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a career saver. It's extended my career just for the way that I felt about just things, the way they're going in the business or the way they're going, with the way people look at sports, and we're able to tell these stories and people appreciate it, and and it's not just the scores. I know people like that, but being able to highlight a player and let people get to know them, and then they come back and you'll be out somewhere and oh, I like that story you did on such and such, and it tells you they're listening and that they appreciate it, and so that's been a lot of fun. Again, it does take all these 7 people that are in that department
Yeah.
to play their part. It's kind of like any team, out there that we're covering to make it happen. And so that's been a lot of fun to get together with a team and to be able to do what we do.
Can we back it all the way up really quick?
Let's back it up.
To your first market. Was it Hazard?
It was Hazard.
Okay.
Hazard.
Not too
Yeah.
far.
No. I've been in the state my whole life,
Yeah.
which is, when I was younger, I was probably like a lot of you. I was like, I'm gonna climb the ladder. I'm gonna see how far I can go, and if it's New York, LA, awesome. If it's not, then we'll see how far I can make it. And then got to Louisville and had kids, and it's like it's a pretty good market, and kids were settling into things, we were settling into things, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, started in Hazard. This would have been '93. And it was a great place to cover high school sports. We did a little bit of coverage with basketball and football and things like at University of Kentucky, I should say. But for the most part, it was high school and small college. And it just gave you a place to go and make your mistakes
Yeah.
and learn. And
Yeah.
while they wanted you to be good, they also appreciated, okay, you made the mistakes. Let's look at what happened, what went wrong, and try and fix it. And
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Starting
those
out in
small
news.
markets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I really loved it, and it was a neat area because Eastern Kentucky really appreciates high school sports and UK sports, and so it was like if I could have made money down there, I probably never would have left.
Really?
I mean, it's just because it's a small market. You know how
Yeah.
it is. They can only do so much. And but I loved it. My mom's from Hazard. My dad's from
wow.
Hyden, which is
Okay.
Leslie County, so
Okay.
right next door. And so, I had family down that way, and it was easy to stay and all that. But it was just, again, I was trying to climb the markets.
Sure. So
place to get your
when
start.
did you leave Hazard, and was your next step Louisville?
No, next step from Hazard was coming to Lexington to LEX 18.
Okay.
And I only came here really as a part-time worker. Christy found a job that was good, full-time, and I came in hoping to go from part-time to full-time and hoping to stay in sports, and it kind of didn't really work out. And by the time I left here, I was a full-time news photographer.
Oh, wow.
And
Very different
Yeah,
than-
like it went from part-time sports to part-time sports, part-time news, like full-time.
Yeah.
But I was doing 2 or 3 days in each. And then it became, don't need you in sports anymore, and you're in news.
And the new, for people who don't know, that means you're getting sent out to breaking news and house fires and shootings and oof.
One of the things I remember most was I was an overnight, not overnight, I was the on-call.
Yeah.
And I got called out to a fire in Paris, and it was downtown, and there was a tree in front of this place that was just, like the house was on fire, or it was a business. It was an old house, but it was a business. And they're fighting this fire, and it was about 20 degrees. Oh. And I started to walk up towards there, and the guy said, be really careful because from all the water, it's ice. And I just remember that being on fire, and at the same time, this tree in front was just covered in ice where they had put the water on. It was
Wow.
like this most incredible view of,
Yeah.
beauty and sadness at the same time. But, yes, I covered overnight. There's a murder downtown. I can still drive by spots and remember, okay, I was here for this. I was
Yep.
there for that.
Yeah.
But full-time photographer.
That
and
has
news.
to give you some serious appreciation for what
Yeah,
the
some
photogs
perspective.
do.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been, behind the scenes enough to see what that's like and to appreciate. I mean, I've been a photographer my whole career because you had to do that in Hazard as well.
And you still do it.
And I still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even at 72, I still have to put the camera on my shoulder and go out and shoot games.
Yeah.
But that's just what we do.
So while you were shooting news, were you thinking, I really want to get back to, or full-time sports coverage? That's what I want to do.
Yeah. I was totally like trying to get a job in town or, anywhere. I really didn't care. I didn't even care if it was a step backwards in markets or anything like that. I wanted to be back in sports so bad. And I was probably not a good, happy employee at that time back then because of, just not doing what I wanted to do. And so I was looking around and all of a sudden somebody contacted me about this job that was open in Louisville at WLKY. And I just didn't even think much about it, but I thought I've got to try. But how am I going to get this sports job? I'm just, a news photographer. But I guess I had enough on my reel that I was able to put it on there, and it helped get me the job. And I was fortunate as well because there were 3 people there. So it's like they could take a chance on a number 3 guy coming in, and for the most part being a photographer in sports, but also reporting and occasionally filling in anchoring. So it's like they could take more time to develop me.
So you were in Louisville for more than a decade.
I was there 13 years,
Wow.
And Derby of this year will be 13 years back.
Wow. Okay, so what was the process, or what was that call like when the position opened here in Lexington?
So up there, things were just kind of like, I was working with a guy who had been there for like 40 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't going anywhere, and I'm stuck on weekends for 13 years.
For 13 years in a row, you're on weekends.
Weekends, yeah.
Oh,
My
wow.
days off were Monday, Tuesday. I'm working Saturday,
That's
Sunday.
tough.
At some point, it became a thing where, again, it was just we had 3, but then it became just the 2 of us. Well, he's not going to work, extra weeks. Sometimes he would, on game days, he would work on Saturdays. But then I'm working Saturdays, Sundays myself, and on Saturday nights, we had a half-hour show that I'm producing myself, editing myself, hoping I have interns that can help me edit, things like that, And so it was becoming a grind, and so I was starting to look. I was interviewing outside of TV. I was trying to find things, just to do. And So then one day I was coming down. We're not always around because of UK basketball, or when I was in Louisville, UK, U of L, IU. We're not always around for the Sweet 16. But I remember I happened to be coming in, and I saw Mary Jo Perino, who was the sports anchor at the time, and she was, I guess I'd maybe heard, and so I talked to her, and she said, yeah, I'm going to be leaving such and such date. And she said, you should put in for it. I was like, yeah, I guess I could, you know? So I did, and it was the same assistant news director that was here that had previously been here when I was here in the late 90s. So put in for it. Vividly remember having some conversations when I was on the road covering Indiana. Went from covering Indiana in Dayton to covering Indiana in Washington, D.C. And all along that way, I unfortunately had to fill in my photographer who was with me, because I was like, you're going to hear some things here on this call. Yes, I am in discussions about a job. And so yeah, just remember kind of almost solidifying it while I was on the road covering Indiana in the NCAA tournament. And
Crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal, and, spent 3 years plus here before. And so, to think I could come back here and be Monday through Friday and all that was awesome, working with Alan Cutler again.
Was he your boss at the time?
He was the sports director at the time.
But the one to hire you, or
yeah. And honestly, it was the easiest hiring process I've ever been through, because I really didn't even have to send a reel in.
Yeah.
I think I did send a resume. I'm not sure. And I also remember one of the last things that I negotiated. I was like, am I going to go back to 2 weeks of vacation? Because I was getting a lot in Louisville. I'd been there so long.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what do you get up there? I was like, I get 5 weeks up there. And he goes, oh yeah, we'll give you that too. I was like, all right, I'm in.
If only it was
5
always
weeks
this
of
easy.
vacation?
Yeah.
Really?
You probably get more
I never
now.
even see you take a vacation.
Well, that's true. I sneak out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Gotta
cow.
build it up.
It was neat. It was
Yeah.
really a neat process and an easy process, and the thought of coming back close to home where family could see me again. And I hated leaving Louisville. I loved it. I loved Louisville. And again, that's where my kids were growing up, and that made it hard to leave. But then my wife and my youngest son just fell in love with Lexington. And it was easy for me too, because I love this area. I grew up in this area. We came to Lexington all the time, and getting to cover Kentucky was special again. I mean, I've covered 3 NCAA champions here, from 96, 98, and 2012. I remember my dad vividly. I thought he was going crazy when in 1978 he was jumping up and down watching the 1978 team win the national championship. And now I'm working with Jack Goose Gibbons.
That's incredible.
I mean, it's just unreal on BBN Tonight and BBN Game Day to have him in there and asking him questions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
to walk in and hear him say, Keith. I'm like, it's like, Goose knows who I am.
Yeah, right.
He knows my name.
Like, that's the guy I looked up to.
That's so cool.
Totally. What are some of the other pinch me moments that you have had or that you continue to have in this job?
Again, getting to know some of these players on a personal level, even going back to my first job in Hazard, one of the first people I covered was Tim Couch when he was a sophomore in high school. And then all of a sudden he blows up to become this person that everybody in the country knows, and he could have gone to almost any school, and he ends up coming to Kentucky. That's when I moved to Lexington the first time.
Yeah.
And so I got to keep covering him. And then his first game in Cleveland, somebody couldn't go for us. And I think it was 99 in Cleveland. They're playing Pittsburgh, which I'm a Steelers fan.
It's tough.
And so I got to go up there, and they said, we got 2 passes. Might have been a little easier back in the day. I took my dad, and I gave him an LEX 18 shirt. I'm thinking he's going to be able to walk the sidelines with me. No, that was one thing that was different. He had to be in the press box, and I could be on the field shooting. So I'm down on the field shooting. I'm all worried about him. I go up at halftime, and he's sitting around a table with real journalists, real sports reporters, and he's just having a dinner or something like that and just chatting it up. And I was like, he's good.
Yes.
I'm going to go back down. And then Tim Couch got in the game. I took my dad into the locker room, who, again, both from Leslie County. And he actually went to school with Tim's dad.
Oh, wow.
So take him into the locker room, and he holds the microphone as I'm interviewing Tim Couch after his first professional football game. So that was a really cool moment to be able to, see that and to enjoy it with my dad. And other than that, just, national championships that I've been able to cover, I mean, have been special, all through my career. And my two favorite moments have been, I got to cover Little League World Series. Actually got to do it 3 times.
That's fun.
And growing up watching that was kind of surreal, going to see the fields, and you get there and you're like, oh, this is it. Yeah, they are Little League fields. You're expecting this grand stuff. But really cool. The first time I did it was in Louisville. The team went all the way through and beat Japan in the finals. And so it was really cool. And it was like a uniting moment in Louisville that you just don't get if you've not lived there before.
Yeah.
In Louisville, you can live next door to UK fan, Louisville fan, down the street might be an IU fan, a Michigan or whoever, Ohio State. And then that moment, it brought everybody together for this one team. So that was really cool. And then the Ryder Cup was at Valhalla, and that was unreal. I mean,
that seems like a sports fan's ultimate
and a golf
bucket list
fan,
item.
So that was really neat. And they hadn't won in a while, and they won it there with 2 Kentucky guys on the roster. So, it was really, really neat.
Who's like the funniest or maybe even your favorite athlete coach that you've gotten to interview?
Ooh. Wow. There've been so many.
It's hard to. It's like
really
picking children,
hard.
probably, right?
Yeah. It really is. I mean, I'm trying to think. Boy. Yeah.
What about interviewing Coach Cal? What was that like?
You never knew what you were going to get, because sometimes you would ask him a question, he would give you a really solid answer, and sometimes he would, you'd ask him, about the sky and, is it blue? And he'd be like, hey, but how about the grass? And he'd go a totally different way. I don't know. You'd ask him a question and he would just take it another way, or you'd ask him about, hey, how about Oscar tonight? Yeah, but how about this player?
That's hard as a journalist.
After Oscar has 25 points and 20 rebounds, and he wants to talk about somebody else, and he just would kind of take it a different way.
You kind of have to always be. I mean, in news in general, you have to always be prepared, but in sports especially, it seems like you really have to be able to pivot, and you have to know your stuff, because if the coach decides they want to talk about somebody else. Yeah. You have to know what they're talking about.
Or Rick Pitino was tough on journalists. Now, he wasn't mean. He wasn't a Bobby Knight, but sometimes he could just call you out on it. Like, what am I going to tell you what the game plan is, or something like that. If you're asking about how he's going to attack some team or something, and what am I going to, and he'd be tough on you, but.
Toughest interview, would you say? Toughest coached interview?
Probably the toughest. Yeah, one of the toughest for sure. Yeah.
Do you learn people's quirks and know what's going to maybe set them off, or?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, or ways you can work your way into making them comfortable with you, kind of thing, to where it's easier to ask a question.
When it comes to the national championships, which one was the most hype?
Oh, 2012 probably was the most hype one, just because it was expected, although they were a young team and they were full of freshmen, it was still almost expected. So you were like, I don't know, there were still some good teams. I mean, they had to beat a good Louisville team in the Final Four, and then they had to beat a really good Kansas team. And, so I think that was part of it, knowing that they were, the 96 team was just so good. You knew they were going to run through everybody, or you expected them to, so maybe hype in that aspect that, will they get it done, because they should. And then the 98 was the one that was unexpected. So, that was a lot of fun covering that one.
All hype in different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
I asked Tom Hammond the same question, but what's the best sports environment that you have been in?
So first off, I'm glad you had Tom Hammond on first, because I would not have done this if you did not have Tom Hammond. I probably shouldn't have done it. I probably shouldn't have done it without having Alan Cutler on, and maybe Ryan Lemond, maybe Ryan Lemond as well, because
can you secure them for us?
I can help you out with them for sure, because those are like the people I looked up to, growing up, as well as some others in the market. But I'm sorry, question again. I had to get that out.
Greatest sports atmosphere that you have covered a sporting event in?
Citrus Bowl with Kentucky football was pretty special. Because those had not come along very often, and to have Mark Stoops take them like he did in that one and to win it was incredible. The fans just showed up for that one. And then in 2012, when Kentucky won it, it was in the Superdome down in Louisiana, New Orleans. And they had given out these, it was a bank or something, seats to sit on, right? So you've got just these square things that you put under you to sit on and get comfy and everything. Kentucky wins it. And these things start getting thrown out. Confetti's coming down too.
Yeah.
But these things are getting thrown, and we're down there like kind of dodging these things. Those were a couple good moments. And then another atmosphere at Rupp Arena. There's a game where Kentucky played against North Carolina, and it was both teams ranked. Just everybody was loud from the start. It wasn't the little Rupp crowd that likes to golf clap. And it was the game where Tayshaun Prince comes out. He hits a three-pointer, gets the ball, hits another three-pointer, he hits a third one, and then finally he comes down, he hit one, and it was this fourth three-pointer. I mean, the crowd's already going ballistic. And they got a rebound, they hand it to him, he comes down, barely gets across midcourt, lets another one go from the logo, and nails it. And that's what I said is one of the loudest I've ever heard Rupp Arena. It's either that or John Wall, also against North Carolina with a reverse that he had. And those are probably the two loudest moments I've ever heard Rupp Arena.
Is it hard to, when you're in that setting and the crowd is losing it and the game is so exciting, to remember like, oh, I have to film this. I have to be looking through a little teeny lens right here.
The only time I've done that, and so no to that point.
Okay.
The only time I've done that is when I was a news photographer the first time. They sent myself and John Wesley Brett, who was a reporter here, to Louisville to get Muhammad Ali at, I'm going to forget what this place is called, but he had boxed there before. It's downtown. Okay. It's an old gym where they used to do the 6th and 7th region basketball tournaments. He walks into this room, and I've got the camera on my shoulder, and he starts doing some of his, this kind of thing to some people, and he's getting ready to do a magic trick that he always did, where he used to always hide a handkerchief, but he had like a fake thumb, and he'd pull it off.
I didn't know he was into magic.
He's doing all that, and this is really, he's probably not talking as much at that point. That's the point where he's not stopped talking. And I realize I've got the camera on my shoulder, and I'm watching this. I'm taking this in because this is one of the most iconic sports people ever, in the history of sports. And I've got to start shooting this, or we're going to have nothing. And this is what we were sitting here for.
But you almost do have to take a second, right? Sometimes because got to have the
such
stories.
A cool job at the end of the day.
Like, I have not been wowed by a lot of sports, athletes. Been around Tiger Woods. I've been around NASCAR drivers, pro sports, LeBron. Nobody's ever really gotten me like Muhammad. And maybe Jack Nicklaus a little bit because I was, a big fan of his growing up. But those are really the only two. Yeah.
Very cool.
Have you ever had a really bad flub up on air?
Yeah. So when I was working in Hazard, we didn't do a lot of live shots down there because this is back in the day when you had satellite trucks and live trucks. And live trucks just wouldn't work in Eastern Kentucky with the mountains. Yeah. So we would have to get the other station's satellite truck that we were connected with that would come down, and it was the playoffs for football. And so I guess I had an earpiece because we used earpieces. And I'm standing there and I can't hear anything, and I'm getting ready to do my 6 o'clock live hit, and I'm like, I can't hear anything. And somebody said, I think it was the engineer for the live truck, said, turn around so that they know you're not hearing anything.
That was
and they won't take you. Yeah. Okay. Like just turn around, show them your back, and that way they won't take you. And
is that a thing?
I mean, I would hope that like if we were
Right.
out
Yeah.
at the SEC tournament and I turned around and showed them my back, they wouldn't
Yeah.
like pop us up on camera, but
They would figure out what was going on.
they
Okay.
did. But they did.
Wait, they took the shot?
Yeah.
How long was your back on?
It must not have been very long, but it was long enough to say, what's up? You know, like,
Why are you doing that?
why is that guy standing there with his back to me? And so, yeah, that was kind of a little bit embarrassing.
That's always demoralizing early on in
Yeah.
your career when things
Yeah.
like that happen. Now I feel like whatever.
I've always been super careful about anytime you got a mic on, not saying
Ooh.
a whole lot. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, I'm not bad about anything, but it's just like, you don't even want to be like, I know there've been a couple times we're coming back after, right before the final weather with Bill Meck. And
Yeah.
sometimes we're like, you got 30 seconds or something, or, you know, and you hear, blah, blah. But yeah, no,
That's
I'm
never our
pretty
fault,
careful.
though.
No,
That's Bill and Larry.
No,
Blame
no.
it on them.
Well, Bill doesn't wear an earpiece, so he
Correct.
doesn't know. And
Yeah, so sometimes he's
Yeah.
talking about something.
We're
but
guilty up in the mornings too. Even if they give us time cues.
You can get away with
sometimes.
so much in the morning.
That's
so.
true. Yeah,
Right?
we do get away with a lot. Yeah, yeah. That's the perk of getting up, I guess, that early in the morning. I do want to ask you. I actually asked someone for a hot take to give you. Sierra Newton
Okay.
in your office. She's been on the pod. And this was, I can't take credit for this, but this was her hot take that she wants you to answer. You can only choose one team to root for the rest of your life. Is it the Tottenham Spurs or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Probably the Pittsburgh Steelers because I've been with them the longest.
Okay.
Like we're talking 70s with them. Tottenham I picked up on in like 2012 or something.
So it doesn't go
yeah,
as far back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
You're
that's
gonna
an
go with the
easy.
Steelers.
Yeah,
that was actually an easy
very-
take.
Yeah, that actually wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't tough at all.
Come on, bring it tough.
crazier / better fan base, Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Yeah.
Any
Easy.
day?
Easy. Any day. Maybe almost every sport. I mean, that's the thing is that I've been amazed by since I've been back. Before I left here, you know, in 2000, the first time, 2000, you did not see a lot of Louisville stuff here in town. Go to Louisville and you see Kentucky stuff everywhere and Louisville. I mean, you know, but you see Kentucky everywhere. So you think about that. Now that I've been back, I'm seeing a lot more Louisville stuff here. Probably because of, you know, maybe the Patino days or, you know, football started getting bigger there. And so, and probably some people moved down here with jobs. I don't know, but they became a little more bold with wearing it here,
Okay.
but it's still not, trust me, it's nothing like Louisville. And the fan base at Kentucky, just when I went to the Bahamas with the basketball team, and there were so many fans that were down there.
That's incredible.
It's crazy. And then they can go to London and play, and packed out Kentucky fans. You know, Atlanta has one of the largest UK alumni fan bases. Birmingham, Alabama does. I mean, they're everywhere. You know,
I notice a lot of, maybe I'm just tuned in now that I live here, but when I travel, you know, in Vegas, I saw a ton of people wearing Kentucky shirts.
Yeah.
I was like, are we all here at the same time?
Sure. And places like that are going to give them reasons to go.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you're going to find places where it's like,
Yeah.
like New York City. When we went up there, they have a bar that's dedicated to UK.
That's so
You know,
fun.
because it's a guy that I don't know if he's from here or if he became a fan. But it's just
That's
yeah.
cool.
You walk in there and there's UK memorabilia. There was
Yeah.
a Wildcat out front, a blow up Wildcat out front.
I love
Gotta make
that.
On
you
the
feel
sign.
good when you see that when you're in
yeah.
a different state.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Bluegrass in the Big Apple.
I don't know how old you are, but I think you have like really young energy. And I feel like maybe part of that is because Sierra, Maggie,
Right.
Noah,
Hannah Hamelback, Noah,
Nick, and Jesse's not old.
Everyone,
not old.
everyone else in the room, basically.
Well, but I've like I that does sound kind of bad when I say
Yeah.
it. I don't mean it
That's-
like
no,
that.
that's okay.
But like Sierra, for example, she's so like hip. She's very hip,
Yeah.
up with pop culture. Like, have they taught you anything? Like, do you feel like you're more in the loop because
Maybe
You're
a
working with
little
them?
bit of, you know, keeping up. I think for the most part they talk not behind my back, but they start discussing pop culture stuff, you know, when I'm not in the room or, you know, I
Yeah.
might walk in on a conversation, they're talking about somebody.
Have they taught you about any cool music or anything?
I try to teach them about cool music, but they got their own, and no.
What cool music do you like?
Yeah.
What cool
does that
music
look
do you like?
I'm still stuck on the older stuff.
Okay.
I'm not as much into the pop of today's. I don't know. I mean, I like Bruno Mars, and there's some others I like, but like I just went down to Nashville for a yacht rock concert.
Love
He's
yacht
a yacht rock guy.
So,
I feel like
yeah.
you're a yacht rock
I'm a yacht rock gal.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, and then like Hall & Oates is who I like growing up. Chicago,
yeah.
Journey.
Yeah.
I saw Hall & Oates in concert, and they were so good.
Yeah, we may not see that anymore.
Before
but-
before the
breakup.
drama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are really good.
Okay. Well, that's good music though to teach the younger
The younger-
generation about.
Yeah. Does that keep it fun and lively, though, that you do have like these young people that are at a point in their career that you were once in, where they're like hungry and climbing the ladder?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I see it in
Yeah.
them. Like I'm in this different stage of career where it's like I'm not putting a reel together and I'm not all that stuff. It's just like the energy that they have. I mean, you say I've got energy. The energy they have and the like Noah the other day was like I guess we're just are we doing a live game day on Saturday? Because we really record those on Friday. And he's dying to do a live game day. And that means, like, probably if Kentucky on Friday wins a game real late, we're staying here doing something till 1 a.m. And then we got to be back here at like 7 a.m. And he's like all about, let's do this,
I'll sleep at the
and
station.
he's like, let's just, I want the long days,
Yeah.
And I'm like, work smarter, not harder,
Yeah.
Okay, you've been there, done that.
I've been there,
type of
done
thing.
that.
You
Yes.
did the long
But I
days.
see all that, and I
Yeah.
see the drive and the wanting to tell those stories, which I want to do too. But it's like I see him like just where is it? You
Yeah.
know?
All that being said, the sports team is working hard and they are hustling.
Yes.
To get
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
done.
100%.
Okay, so let's do a little preview. So this is March. This is a really busy time. What should viewers and listeners be looking out for this month? Do you guys have any specials, any big coverage?
We do have, and I'm going to forget exactly what they are. We have, I think it's a half-hour SEC special that we're going to be doing for I think that's going to be the week of the men's tournament, and then we have an NCAA. I think it's an hour-long special. So we
Okay.
got to wait and see what the Selection Sunday holds for that team.
Yeah.
Before we get that going, but hopefully the women are going to be hosting. They probably have a little bit of work to do in the SEC tournament to make sure that they can be a host. If not, we'll see where they head on the road, and we'll be covering all of them as well.
Exciting
So
times
much
ahead.
excitement. My last question for you, Keith. After 13 years in Louisville, 13 years here, like you said, you've been through the grind, and now you're at this different place in your career. What keeps it fun?
I think it's like that was the thing with news. To me, was a grind of just a lot of downer stuff. Now, not always. There were fun stories to do, but as a photographer, getting called out overnight or things like that, it was hard. And so I think for me, it's the storytelling of new people every year, and getting to see, especially with NIL and with transfer portal, especially with the transfer portal, you're getting so many different people coming into the programs. You see new high school kids who, a lot of times make their mark their junior, senior year. So every couple of years, you're getting new people coming up and making their mark. And so I think it's just fun to see everyone excel and to see who is going to be that top team every year in the high school ranks. And that just makes it fun. It makes it interesting to see not only how the team's going to do, but how the individuals are going to do.
A lot of good storylines.
Yeah.
And getting to do it in the state where you grew up.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, the only place I really haven't worked is far western Kentucky, and I've traveled it a little bit. But yeah, it's so cool to have connections to all those areas that I can still go back to.
My final question for you is, who had the best beard for No Shave November?
Oh, come on now. I mean, it was a little gray, but I mean the fullness of it, right?
Yeah.
Who had the worst?
Burke.
Michael
Duh.
Burke, you think?
No, I'm not. I don't know if anybody had a bad one.
Everyone contributed. And
Tom Ackerman is actually pretty good too.
it was a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, like viewers won't call in to give us feedback on stories, but they will call in to say whose beard they like and whose beard they do not.
Yeah. Who can
Actually, I got a lot of people who said they did not like mine. And that they like even
Were they
since
nice
they're
about
like,
it?
I'm glad you shaved that. You
Did
know.
you like the beard though? That's what counts.
I liked it, yeah, yeah. It's probably gonna be
Did your wife like it?
She was like, if you like it, you can have it. But she was not a huge fan of
Okay.
it.
She was one of those people calling the station.
But I think when I get to retirement, whenever that happens, I might have to go like ZZ Top and like really let it grow.
Ooh.
Can you even imagine, like 30 years from now, we see a picture of Keith and he has like this long beard?
He'll be back on the podcast to talk about that beard.
I'm not working 30 more years.
That's
Maybe we'll come to you.
Yeah.
We'll come to your
come to
we'll
my
come to your
home.
nursing
My home I'm in.
yeah, and do the interview there. That would be it's a date.
All right, got it
We'll
in the
make it
calendar.
happen.
Keith Farmer, thank you so much for taking the time out of
problem.
a very, very busy season for
Yeah,
you. This
no
was
problem.
so fun.
I know it was fun. You probably have like a list of 10 things to do today, huh?
No, 9. I think it is.
This was the
Yeah.
10.
Yes,
Are you
this-
relieved that you've checked this one off? I know you were nervous.
Yeah, I was nervous.
It
'Cause
wasn't
you're
that
a
bad,
journalist,
was
and
it?
I'm just a guy who tells scores.
Oh, please.
You're a journalist.
I'm just glad you didn't make me cry.
You are, I said this to Bill last week, you're on the Mount Rushmore of LEX 18
Yeah.
figures.
No,
mean it.
I
no,
would agree with that.
there are way. You already had Tom Hammond. He's on there.
We're expanding Mount Rushmore.
yeah. There's a lot of people I think that deserve that title.
Yeah, well,
It's
we
hard
need to be up
pick.
there, obviously.
We're making our way, hopefully.
We love it. Keith, thank you so much.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck as you guys get into this crazy, crazy season.
Appreciate it.
We'll be
Yeah.
watching.
Yes, we will. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you so much. We will see you next week on another. Where's the camera?
Every time.
Every
We
time.
mess it up.
We'll see you next time on another episode of Hot Mic.